Alright, what is up, everybody? So, we're going to talk about a little bit about fighting game lingo today, right? I've had a few comments of people who came into the channel and were like, it's really fun watching your videos, you explain things pretty well, but I can't keep up with, the lingo, the things you're saying, like OS and DP and just pretty much in general fighting game terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to explain a little bit of what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you a few tips on lingo, but then I'm going to take you to an external site that's pretty much the holy grail for anyone wanting to get into fighting games who doesn't have the lingo down. When it comes to me, over a long time playing fighting games, these things just become second nature, so you just start saying them and not even wondering if someone understands what you're saying, because it's like your own language, and to them it's French or something. So we'll start with a couple of basic things, and then I'll jump to this site and show you exactly where you can go to learn a lot of what I talk about and a lot of what a lot of fighting game players are saying. So number one, something that's really going to help you to understand, especially in anime fighters and stuff, what certain players are saying, should learn Numpad Notation, right? That is one of the best things that you can teach yourself, to read combos and things like that, read the notation to understand what your moves are. So if you look down at your keyboard and you look at your numpad and you see that it's in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's exactly what Numpad Notation is, and that corresponds to the directions that you're pressing on your D-pad or the direction you're pushing your stick in. If you are down back blocking, that position of the joystick is 1. And then if you're just hitting down, that's 2. If you're hitting down forward, it's 3. Back is 4, neutral is 5, forward is 6, up back is 7, straight up is 8, and up forward is 9. Pretty simple to remember once you get it in your brain. And that's really going to help you once you learn all of that. Number one, you'll be able to quickly say the moves you were trying to do, or what position on the joystick you're talking about, to do like command normals and stuff. And you'll be able to read the notation. If you say you want to go to the Mizumi wiki or something and learn how to play your character, you'll be able to read out their whole combo and it'll just click, because you'll be like, oh, okay, blank, blank, blah, 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 right? So let me show you an example real quick. We're going to load up Mbac here. Okay, so here we are, playing some Mbac. I miss you, Byakuya. You're so cool. Anyway, so basically what I'm going to show you is just a Momiji loop combo, and then I'm going to put the notation on screen with it so you understand what's going on, right? So you remember our positions, right? So we've got down back, right? You see it in the top left corner, that's position 1. Straight down's position 2, down forward's position 3, back is 4, 5 is neutral, 6 is forward, 7 is up back, 8 is straight up, and 9 is up forward, right? So there's your numpad notation right there. And if you need to keep reminding yourself, just practice it. And now the face buttons, right? That's another thing that we have to talk about, especially for Melty. If you play Guilty Gear, they're a little bit different, but it's basically the same concept, right? So in Melty specifically, right, you have 3 attack buttons and your shield buttons. So A, B, C is your basic attack buttons, right, in ascending order. And then D is your shield. And then if you have a macro like me for air dashing, that's A and B together. Or you can just hit A and B together without the macro, right? That being said, I'm going to go ahead and do a Momiji loop combo, and then I'm going to talk about the notation for it, okay? Man, that actually took a while. It's been a minute since I've played some Mbac, but there you have it. So now I'll replay that and I'll show you the notation. Now if I've lost you at this point, it's fine. Don't feel bad about it. Takes a minute to get used to the notation, right? Even I still mess it up sometimes when I'm explaining a move. Like, oh, I miss with my 2C when I mean 5C. You know, it'll happen. But then eventually you'll get used to Numpad notation, and when you have moves that don't have, you know, just a colloquial name for them, you'll be able to say, okay, 236A, that's a light fireball, or 623B is Viakia's uppercut. You'll just get used to it eventually. Typically, there are a lot of colloquial names for certain things, and they cross-pollinate between fighting games, right? So if you were to jump from, let's say, Alpha 3 to Guilty Gear, right? You don't have to say Stun Edge, even though I most of the time do. With Kai, you can say Fireball. It just makes sense. It works, right? Because it's a fireball, and everyone will understand what you were talking about. Same with DP. DP, if you don't know, DP is Dragon Punch. Shoryuken, 623, and a button. Even though it originated in Street Fighter, you know, Dragon Punch, or you can... Any game where you have an invincible wake-up, not even an invincible wake-up, just a move that's similar to a Shoryuken, call it a DP, especially if the inputs are the same. Vapor Thrust with Kai, you can say DP, and everybody will know what the hell you mean. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys probably one of the greatest resources ever created for fighting games. It was made by Infil. It is literally any term you ever want to know the meaning of in fighting games, you can go to this site. For new players, it is an invaluable resource, okay? So you can just go to Google and type in Infil Glossary, and you come to this site. Here we go. We're at the Fighting Game Glossary by Infil, right? I'll make sure that there's a link to this website in the description. But number one, what you're gonna notice is you've got every letter of the alphabet plus a couple more things, and then you've got specific games here too, right? So you've got Guilty Gear terms, BlazBlue, Mortal Kombat, Melty Blood. But yeah, you can basically click on any one of these games and see every single term involved with it, right? So even the meme terms are in here. But number one, we'll check out, it's actually pretty cool. Melty Blood is the featured term of the day here. So, and this is basically the template you're going to see for pretty much every term, right? So reduce, a system in Melty Blood Actress, again current code, that lets you reduce incoming damage by 30% if you time a button press as soon as you take a hit. You'll see a flashing reduce icon above your super meter on each hit, letting you know you should be trying to press buttons. You can't just mash though, you have to time within 4 frames of the opponent's hit landing. But you can do it for each hit in a combo if you want, turning Melty Blood into a pseudo rhythm game for the defender as they try to take less damage. It just explained all of that in very plain English, right? And the cool thing about it is, you see all these embedded links here? Super meter. You can click that, and it'll take you and explain to you what super meter is. Mash. I'll tell you what mashing is. Frames. There you go. Combo. Even the most basic things are in here, right? So, if we take something that's not so basic, right? Like, let's say you hear me playing and you hear me say OS, right? You're like, what the hell is OS? There you go. You type OS in, and option select comes right up. And they will go ahead and break down exactly what an option select is for you. Regardless of whether or not you know what the terms mean, doesn't mean that you're going to know how to do them immediately, right? Or know how to use them. That's just basic fighting game stuff. But having the knowledge of what someone's talking about will give you the edge to start learning things for yourself. So yeah, they even explained here, common option select is the buffer. Press a normal attack and then try to cancel into a special. If you do this from far away, the normal attack will whiff and your special cancel does nothing because you're not hitting anything, right? However, if your opponent gets hit by your attack, the special cancel will work automatically without any extra thought or changes to the input on your part. So think about playing Third Strike or something, right? And you're just walking back and forth, and you're Chun-Li, and you're hitting low forward, right? You're just crouching mid kick over and over to try and either one hit confirm, or in this case with an option select, you don't have to one hit confirm. You just keep hitting crouching medium kick and keep doing kick special at the end of it, because you're doing it during the animation of her mid kick, and if you whiff, it's not going to come out. But if they come forward and you hit with your kick, it comes out automatically and you don't even need to try and confirm. And as you get better, you'll realize a lot of people use option selects, and you'll be able to tell when they're using option selects. Because if you notice that they're always doing a special, like a fireball or something off their crouching forward, when they're whiffing it, right? And every time you come in and you block it, a fireball comes out after it. Suddenly, you know that they're option selecting into fireball. And since you know fireball's coming out, just time a parry the fireball, do your super, and punish, because you know they're option selecting, right? And that will discourage them doing that. So, and then it's got a bunch of other stuff. Delayed tech, safe jumps, fuzzy guard, all of these things you can look up on this site. Let's just grab Guilty Gear here. Let's just click it. And now they're all in a row in alphabetical order, right? So, Black Beat, Blitz, Blitz Shield, Blue Roman Cancel, Burst, Burst Overdrive, Burst Safe, Cali Burst. I told you, the memes are in here, right? Cali Burst can actually apply to wherever you're from, right? It's not just California, it's just kind of how they use it. Bursting when you are extremely low on life and your opponent has most of their health bar remaining, assuming it's not the final round, of course. So like first round, you're just getting wrecked, and you're at like this much health and they have their whole bar, and you burst when you should be saving it for the next round. It's a super aggressive play. Are you really going to make that comeback? Bursts don't grow on trees, so you're usually better off saving this super precious resource for a round you actually have a chance at winning. If you lose, you're down a round and without your burst, so now you're in real trouble. But then again, since many Californian players love to play all-in rushdown styles, it seems to fit the namesake pretty well. Hey, what's this? Rushdown? Oh, a style of play that focuses on getting close to your opponent and relentlessly attacking them until they die. It's kind of the opposite of zoning. Zoning? The act of using long-range attacks to try and prevent your opponent from coming closer, typically by using long-distance normals, fireballs, and backwards movement. Generally, your goal is to frustrate your opponent into doing something stupid to close the gap, like jump, which is when you use a move like a Dragon Punch. Dragon Punch. So you get the idea. It opens this giant tree that every time you read about something, and then you see a term within it, there's usually a link that takes you to tell you exactly what that means. So, Dragon Punch. Powerful rising uppercut attack is great for anti-air, and is usually invincible, making it great for reversal attacks, right? Any one of these three things can be clicked on, and you will learn about that thing. So, I can't recommend this site enough. It was a gift to the fighting game community. Thank you, Infil. It's freaking amazing that this exists, because if you know the frustration about trying to talk to somebody about fighting games who doesn't play fighting games or wants to get into them and doesn't understand the terms, you can now just say, hey, go right here. This guy made this whole website just to show you, to teach you what all this stuff means. So I hope that I helped you at least a little bit learning lingo. Again, going to Infil's site and the fighting game glossary is going to help you. You can just go there and click on a random game and look at all the terms from them, and just you can waste a whole day reading all that stuff, because there's games I don't play that I don't know the terms for, and I'll click it and I'll be like, oh, well, now I know what that means, you know? And then more than anything else, it takes time and practice to remember what certain things are, right? So again, with like the Numpad notation, practice calling your moves and your normals by their Numpad notation, and eventually you'll get it. It'll just, again, be second nature to you. And you'll be able to follow what players like me and others, when they're talking in the middle of a match, or talking about, you know, when I do post commentary and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't mean to do 2-1-4 there, I meant to do 2-2 this, or, you know, you'll be able to, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Anyway, thanks you guys for watching. Hope the video was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.